Welcome, you guys. We were just talking about you. How you guys doing? Drop a comment in the chat if you don't mind letting us know how you guys are doing here. My name is Dan. This is the Mayor, and this show is called Beard Advice Live. But first, before we tell you what this show is and how you do it, Mayor, we are in Michigan, and we got a little bit of weather outside. What's going on?
Well, we actually no school today and no school tomorrow. Just a lot of freezing sleet, rain kind of weirdness, like walking through a Slurpee with crunchiness at the bottom, like a Slurpee pie or something like that. Yeah. If that's the thing it should be. If, you know what I mean.
It's like a snow cone.
Yeah, it's weird. It breaks through and then, I don't know, it's kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
But your shoes get very wet.
Yeah, I didn't experience that yet. Luckily, the Mayor has a Jeep, so he's able to go through and did you feel any slippage?
Oh yeah, it was like because the 4-wheel driving, it's just different. Jeeps are fun. It is very tempting to slide away. Yeah, and just see what can happen.
Yeah, I have a 4-wheel truck for the first time. Last couple of years, but for the first time in my life, and same thing. It's a blast. I love making Sam nervous and hitting the corner and stuff safely, of course. But it's fun. It's definitely different. But this is Beard Advice Live. Mayor, what is this show all about?
Well, this is all about making people happy, chasing dreams, whatever you can do. But Beard Advice Live is also just about helping guys with questions about their big beards, their short beards, their hair as it fits, and ultimately feeling good. So guys can send in their pictures, front facing, usually side facing when we're talking beards particularly. Send those in to beardadvicelive@gmail.com. And Dan, to be real. We'll get back to, he'll be like, all right, you're going to be on this week's show. And usually it's within that week. And then where you jump in live, we have the chat, the most important person in the room. And we talk and we give you honest opinions. We're never mean about it. We're not specially trained in any kind of beardness. We've just been talking about it for years and years.
Yeah. And a really cool part about this show is we have a segment in the middle. Dakota says, Dancy, I got a question. Mayor, let them know how the question segment works.
So if you have a question, we know how it goes. It occurs to you, you want to answer it. Listen, we are both teachers. The kids get their hands up. And sometimes for me, it's hard to get my mind through the fact that kid's only thinking about the question and not what I'm, anyways. So you go ahead and pose it in the chat and we'll star it. If you can wait, we would love for you to wait until the middle of the show when we'll have a segment called Questions.
Yes, absolutely, guys. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to click a little star next to them, and we will hit them at the halfway portion. I promise we will get through all of them. And if you have a question at that point, you can drop it in the chat then, too. We do ask that we, as to the best of our ability, we stay away from specific brands on Wednesday for recommendations, and that we will happily talk about it in messages. You can reach out anytime. Monday is all about brands. Sunday, go over brands. But we want to kind of leave this just about the advice. Now, there are times where we'll talk about this bit or that a bit, but that's just kind of a general rule that we like. Now, Mayor, outside of the questions, outside of the beard advice, first off, before we get into the traditions, how do people get involved on this show next week?
Okay, so beardadvicelive@gmail.com. Couldn't be easier. No spaces, no underscores, nothing like that. And just send in front-facing photo, side photo, and a brief description. Let us know what's going on, what your questions are, if you want advice on any kind of look for your beard hairness. That's kind of what we do.
Yep, absolutely, guys. beardadvicelive@gmail.com. We take pride in approaching this from a supportive but also genuine way. We don't want to blow smoke and tell you something that's not true, but we also don't want you ever feeling worse than when you came in. We promise you will feel better.
We want to help.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true. New hat, guys. Digging it there. Mary got a couple comments on the hoodie. You always get comments on that one.
I need, when it was a day, I'm like, let's get some, honestly, I love the the right one. They just lays right.
Perfect.
Some of them do.
Perfect. And as you guys come in, please consider hitting that thumbs up. It's free. Takes a second of your time, helps out this channel. And if you guys want to share this out on your social media or text message or anything, who knows? Maybe you help somebody out there that didn't realize they need it or didn't realize this show was a thing. It could make a difference for all parties involved. Now, the fun stuff, it's all fun, but the fun stuff, we do have a couple of traditions on this show. Mayor, what do?
We indulge. So we have a pop. Typically, I went with the Mountain Dew tonight. Just regular. Actually, Code Red was out. You know, in that giant Speedway cooler, there's tons. Code Red has one lane.
I know.
Mountain Dew has like 30. What's that? And then we also have a snack, and we got some beef. What are these? Beef
sticks?
Sticks.
Yeah,
that's the
beef
word
sticks.
I couldn't find. Beef sticks.
So just some classic Dukes. This is kind of a nationwide chain. You can find it at any Speedway, a lot of grocery stores, stuff like that. It's a good, solid option. We know what to expect. They're consistent. It's good. And we do have a nice mix. The Hatch Green is a little bit softer, not as spicy, but it does have a decent little kick to it. And then you have the Hot and Spicy. It's got a little bit. This isn't anything for like people going crazy on heat, but it is pretty good. And yeah, guys, we definitely have some weather outside. I think it's stretching across much of like northern USA. So I don't think that we're extremely unique in our bad weather today.
It's another one of those things I used to get really into. Like, you know, I would, be watching days out in advance. What's the next thing to look forward to? But, you know, I don't really much anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same. There's priorities change as your life, and especially as your life goes, and especially
and
your
we have
downtime.
Doug. We have Doug.
Yeah, Doug is amazing with keeping us updated on the weather that's out there. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We see you. We appreciate you. Get involved. Drop comments. When people send into the show, they're not just looking for advice from us. They want you guys to contribute as well. Men and women, anybody has a thought on there, just please make sure it's from a supportive, positive lens with the best intentions of helping somebody.
Your responsibility, chat, is to remember that this is a unique situation for men to have a group of guys all kind of coming in and supporting and saying, yeah, that is a powerful moment. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, Mike says it was only 91 in Texas. We actually looked up the temperature in San Antonio today, and yeah, it was like 88 today because we are at the end of March going down there, and wow, that is, yeah, starkly different than what's going on here. Luke, and a couple people have asked, this hat is from Dr. Nick's. Dr. Nick's Amazing Man stuff. We just got it in this week. I'm super stoked. I love it, you guys. The apparel's on the site. You can use my code DANC for 15% off, but man, yeah, it is awesome. And yep, there's Richard right there saying it's the bomb. Yep, it really is, man. It's really, really, really good stuff. Okay. Awesome. And a lot of people really dig the Dukes, the green hatch, which I agree. I think it is a really nice one. Really, really nice one.
I think it should be nominated. I'll say it. 2023 snack of the year nomination at least.
Ooh, okay.
It's got a little bit of heat. Yeah. I don't know. I was going to try and rhyme there, and I just backed off of it.
Diablo, we will be in San Antonio the actual last week of March, the very last week. We believe the meetup is going to be, you guys, I'm going to get out details very soon, likely tomorrow. But the meetup's going to be on Sunday, the 26th at 5 p.m. We want as many people able to go to it as possible. It's going to be at a park. It's a free park. Stay tuned, you guys, for details on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But it's looking like the 26th at 5 o'clock. We're going to have that meetup. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just good people getting together, talking, hanging out. You can bring your kids, bring your wife, bring your family. It's going to be a really good time. So that's going to, again, guys, is going to be in San Antonio on the 26th of March. So very excited, man. Very excited. Oh, cool, man. Jason invited a friend. That's awesome. We actually have a couple people that were on the show tonight based on inviting friends. My buddy Garrett invited one of his good buddies on the show, and we'll be here. That makes a big difference with helping not only the person you invited, not only this stream, but this channel and this community. So if you guys have friends with beards and they want to get help, this is the place for it. Who knows? Maybe it takes their beard and their confidence to the next level. Awesome. All right, Mayor, you ready to get started here?
Let's go.
Let's do it. What's up, Scott? Welcome in. And this is Beard Advice Live. We are on episode 124, which sounds like a lot because it is. And we also had several versions of the show before those numbers, you guys. We've been doing this, and we love it. We love staying consistent as well. And guys, keep those questions coming. I will keep starring them to the best of my ability. And we will, I'm off that work. Yeah, Andrew, awesome, man. I will make sure that we get to them at halftime, and you'll be able to ask those questions as well. All right, let's go ahead and get this party started here, you guys, and you'll see how the show works.
All right, this is Trent G. So it's been 7 months, and here's my update. The shorter beard and hair are the older pictures from my July trim, and the longer hair and beard are most recent. My goal is to grow out my hair and beard because I've never had long hair with a long beard. I used the same shirt to get a good idea where I was at my last trim. The dilemma is I want a longer beard, but it looks like it starts to thin out the same length it did last time. Right about at the Napa sign. It's also starting to fork a little bit. If I'm going for length, do I just push past that point, no matter what, or how, no matter how transparent it gets towards the bottom? Maybe just put a small rubber band at the end to pull it together. Currently drink the fabled beard elixir and water to help with growth and water intake. Thanks for any input.
Awesome.
All right.
And I left the end part in there, Trent, because, again, we try to stay away from brands, but he essentially is saying, hey, I'm aware of my health. I'm aware of all the things that can help my beard out. So this is one of those things where it's like it is what it is kind of deal, you know? And Gamer, yeah, I believe I said it's that Sunday in the last week of March. I believe it is the 26th. So let's go ahead and take a look at Trent, and then we want to kind of give him this update. Essentially, he is saying, I'm going for length, and he wants to push past that point. No matter how transparent it gets towards the bottom, maybe put a small rubber band. Let's give him some options and take a look at this beard in this update here. Awesome, Trent. I remember that first trim update that you sent. So guys, the one with the longer hair on the side is the previous, and then of course the longer beard is the current. So he is saying, hey, once I reach this part right here, he said right at about the Napa sign, I start to, and I love that he used the same shirt. Trent, thank you so much. We know that you follow this show because that is exactly what we'd want. So he trims here. It's all full. It's all dense. No transparency, even with a bright neon shirt. Hey, Ellie. And he's like, I want to get past this, though. I like the length. What is your advice here in the hair, man? Trent, first off, your style is immaculate, dude. Literally immaculate. I absolutely love it. Do I push past this point, no matter how transparent it is at the bottom? Maybe put a small rubber band to get it together? Trent, I think you knew exactly kind of where you were at with this. I believe that you have one option or the other. I am not a fan of transparency myself. However, I do believe that you can have a really cool look by clipping it at the bottom with either a hair tie or a butterfly clip. So if you were to do that, you would bring that bad boy together. That reminds me of Jeremy Sire's beard, a buddy of mine who's a YouTuber who creates content about mainly like cigars and whiskey and stuff like that. But he has a great beard, but I know for sure his beard would be transparent if he didn't clip it. And I'll show you guys over here what I'm talking about. So this is Jeremy here. And again, he's got a great beard, but he does tie it at the bottom. And I believe if he were to let go of that tie, it would be transparent. It would be see-through at the bottom. So Trent, to give you a visual of what your beard could look like if you did tie it, I think it would be very, very similar to this type of style. Now, if you're like, Dan, hit me with the real. What do you think? I prefer the trimmed, dense, thick, really purposeful beard over the longer tied with some natural transparency beard. And mine would be transparent. I don't grow past this point either because my beard starts to fork, it starts to become transparent. So if you're like man to man, Dan to Dan, you're not a Dan, but you know what I mean. What would you suggest? I like this one. I believe density is more important than length. But that's just my personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer. Thought?
I can tell how happy you are. I love the look. It's really kind of a first in this show's history is kind of like something I just learned from this is that kind of you're just going to have that issue with the French fork, right? It's just kind of, it has to do with where your hair growth is, and you can try and come back to it, and maybe it'll be a little longer, maybe it'll be a little fuller, but that's a battle. So you have to really make a decision like we're talking about here. So I just learned something that I didn't know.
Awesome. Awesome. And Diablo, kind of going with this post here, he needs a clip for windy days. What do you guys recommend? Diablo, if you just get either a butterfly clip or a hair tie that are both intended for hair, that's going to be fine. You just don't want anything that has like an elastic like feel to it, you know, like that rubber feel or a silicone kind of feel. That's going to grab hairs. That's going to damage hairs. You want a hair tie. women have been using ties for generations. They have got that science down on what's best for hair, what's not best for hair. The looser you can go, the better. The tighter you can go, the more chance for damage. So you don't have a wrong answer here, Trent. It comes down to that personal preference. If you guys like Trent's beard, hit a thumbs up in the chat. We got about half of you missing those like buttons already. So if you could, keep that in mind. And yeah, Bill and I have actually talked about this several times. The length, it's just not as important to me as that purposefulness, that density, that really bringing out the best of what you have. But you can have that happy medium by bringing it together with a clip or a tie. So Trent, if you do make a choice one way or the other, please let us know what you go with. I see that you're in the chat there, my man. And if you have any thoughts, you have any questions, any follow-ups, just let us know here. But it does look fantastic. It really does. I love the transition over here, man. I know Ron does too in the chat.
Last final thought. I just want to say, with the hairstyle, it would be like really good symmetrically. I think if you did pull it together and tie it, I think like with the hair pulled back, I think that could be a dope look.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
It's an interesting thought, right? And I think there's probably many that would think the opposite as well, where it's like,
sure,
you got a bun up here, you got a bun down there. Maybe that's too much, right? Maybe that's too much time, but maybe that's the look you're going for.
But you don't see the bun from the front. I don't know. Like, I would love to see it. And just,
yeah, you do though. When you see this hairstyle, you know it's a man
okay, you
bun.
got it. Yeah,
you
that's
know,
fair.
like that. And I love it. I think it's a great look. Like I said, some of my best buddies have that style. So yeah, that's an interesting thought both ways there.
You know, you speak it out there, you do nothing with it, that's fine too, but just put it out there as a thought.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Either way is going to be a great look. So he said he's going to play around with it. Let us know, man. It really is a great beard. This is my favorite, though. I think that looks fantastic, especially with the hair. So, oh, man, it looks really good. Another thing maybe to throw in the mix to just simply play with to see how it looks. I did it myself and it looked horrible. But maybe throw a braid or two in the beard. See if that would kind of bring together that full kind of Viking-like look. Could be cool.
As it stands, I do agree with Dan on the preference of the shorter beard that's fuller. Like,
yeah.
You know, just kind of as maybe a process. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Weatherbeard, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, this is Luke S. Hi, Dan, the trusted teacher and the mayor. Thank you for everything you do for the bearded community. We all appreciate it. I'm 30 and I've been growing my beard for 2 years and my mustache for 7 months. Within the past 3 months, I noticed new growth start to appear on my cheeks. My question is, what do you suggest I do about this new growth? And what do you think of the overall appearance and healthiness of my beard? Should I shave along the already defined line and keep the beard looking crisp, or do you think I should go through a little awkward stage and grow it out? Any other suggestions or comments will be absorbed and applied. There is no one I trust more than the two of you for advice, even if at first I have reservations about change.
Love that, man.
A lot
wow.
in there. Yeah.
You are a poet, dude.
I enjoyed reading that. Let's do it again. It was like balanced.
Yeah, I don't have that ability, but I can recognize it when others do. You are very good with your words, sir. And yeah, Corey, get better, man. I didn't know you were battling. Didn't know you were battling that.
Oh,
so
man.
Feel better, man. Absolutely. All right, Luke, let's take a look. See if the beard looks as good as the words. Boom, baby. Awesome, man. So overall appearance, healthiness of the beard, you threw that in there. Looks great, dude. Literally no concern. There's nothing in that beard that I would say, oh, that's unhealthy. Now, let's go to the real reason you sent in. You have kind of, like you said, a defined line for the cheek, but you have some new growth coming in, which is great news. And Luke, you said that you are 30 years old. Your beard is going to continue to fill in. You're going to continue to raise that cheek line, likely for another 12 years at least, especially if you're staying healthy. So for me, hands down, slam dunk, easy answer, grow that cheek line out natural as long and as much as you can. There is nothing that looks, like you said, new growth. It doesn't look sloppy. It doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look unnatural. Let it grow, man. And I'm not against telling people to make adjustments, right? I just told the last guy I think it would look better with a trim. In my preference, here, leave it alone, man. Let that new growth just keep filling in. Looks great.
First of all, mustache doesn't stand out as being newer than the beard, so that looks good and balanced. Secondly, again, I just grabbed another piece of information. See, a lot of times we have guys that don't believe that they're younger, like you, and they just don't believe that that they can have a spot on their face that eventually will grow hair. And you're the first person I've seen send in. It's like younger. That yeah, what's happening is your beard is coming in, essentially, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know if there's beard karma out there, but you can't get rid of that.
No, man.
It's like, what's up with this party, man? Looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's chill with Luke.
Yeah, so if your alternative is to trim it and shave it down here, no way, dude. No way. Let that come in, feed that beast, get some oil in there, make sure you're exfoliating. You have a great beard. It fits your style really well. Somebody commented on the Scully cap. Looks awesome. You know what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. What's up, Nadal? I think was that right? Perfect.
Yep. All right, this is Russell. I love growing a beard, but it's so thin. I can't get away with going long. Can I get away with going longer? Cut it shorter. Any advice would be appreciated.
Okay. It's thin. Can I get away with growing longer? Okay. Or cut it short. Just saying, hey, do I got a shot to keep going, or do I not need to? Luke says, absolutely, we'll take your advice. Thank you, Luke, man. Look at that picture, too. What a stud. And, man, if you don't have a career involving writing in some way, shape, or form, you might want to look into that. I'm not kidding. You're very, very good with your words. All right. Russell. It's so thin. Can I get it? Russell, are you in the chat? I need to have a word with you, sir. That beard is not thin. That does not come near my brain when I'm looking at this beard. Remember, people are going to say in the chat as well, we are almost always our own worst critics. I don't think I am in terms of my beard, because I've learned from you guys to realize, like, you can't be so hard on yourself. That is not a thin beard at all. To answer your question, can I get away with going longer? Yes. Russell, yes. I don't even think there's a transparency trim. I don't even think there's a shaping up. Looks like you either have naturally straight hair or you have a heat routine dialed in. Your transition from your sideburns to your the bald side of the head here, fantastic. Dude, you are dialed in to a T, and you do not have a thin beard. OG says it's an epic beard. That's certified.
Sometimes our beard advice is out about the beard, and sometimes it's inside, right?
Right.
And this time it's all about self-perception, Russell, and I agree 100% with Dan. You're killing it. Keep growing. Do whatever you want. You should be king of the beard confidence. You look great. Keep it up.
Dude, that's an easy one. Sterling even said, hey, we were not, that's why I went to that. Because that's not the image we had in mind when we were reading that and went to your actual pictures. Yeah, keep growing, dude. Let's push those limits and see what you got. The color is fantastic. It suits you very well, man. Very, very well. Keep going. Love it.
This is Barry G. I'm in need of some advice on my beard trim. I have scheduled this week with my barber. My daughter is getting married on March 11th, and I want to look good for her wedding.
Absolutely.
Finally grown my beard to almost 12 inches in a little over 2 years. I just did my sideburn trim after watching your video. What a game changer for the better it was. Please let me know, what do you suggest for me on my trim? I don't do well with the squint test, and I look forward to hearing your advice.
Nice.
Thank you as always for making a great channel and community. I will have to catch your response on the rewatch because of my driving schedule.
Awesome, man. Drive safely, Barry. Congratulations on your daughter getting married. And
sure.
say, look.
Something that occurred to me as I was reading that is,
yeah.
I do think the squint test is better for us looking at pictures than it is for you trying to find it in your mirror. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So maybe take a picture yourself sometime if you guys are ever...
And it could have been a vision thing. Maybe he's literally saying that the squint test does not work for him. I do notice that he has glasses. So maybe that's just saying, like, I know you guys are going to say squint test. Don't tell me to do that because I can't see it.
And what we're talking about the squint test, guys, is basically just squinting when you look at your beard and kind of looking for that point of demarcation where you're thinning out.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. No doubt about it. All right, Barry, so going to a wedding, you want your beard to look as good as possible. I think it's time for a nice little shape up, a little bit of a balancing act on the beard. Barry, if you want to send these to me personally, I'd be happy to draw a line so you can take it to a barber. But I'm going to start your line right about here, and I'm going to go rounded and just keep that density. I'm going to take off I think it's going to be good for kind of two reasons here, Barry. You have a great beard, man. You got great genetics, great care. You can tell it's a healthy beard. You obviously follow the channel and the advice, and it's really working well for you. But I want something sharp. I want something nice. And your beard is narrow. That's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not one that like pops way out. And this does naturally happen the longer your beard gets, right? Our beards are not super heavy. A lot of people think that length and gravity is gonna solve all your problems like the waves and dips. In reality, it's not. Our beard's not heavy enough to do that. However, when your beard does get longer, I'll demonstrate it right here, guys. When your beard does get longer, it is naturally gonna get thinner and thinner as far as like the volume because of your body, right? Think about what you do all day. You do things like this. My arms, I mean, they are getting bigger. So, hey. When you do this, it pushes your beard in. And that's just natural. As my beard gets longer, I notice that more and more and more. So keep that in mind about how it comes in with the volume. If I were to cut my beard here, it's gonna be more wider than it's ever been before. So Barry, I wanna take a little bit out of that, and I wanna go a good solid 3 to 4 inches and just do a nice little rounded trim down here, and I'm not touching anything else. Your sideburns look fantastically blended. You've got great sides to the beard, but I want about 3 to 4 inches. We do have some transparency here, around here on the outsides. I just wanna get rid of all of that. You're going to a wedding, you want the crispiest, but I do believe above all, I think it's actually gonna be a proportionately better look for your beard. I think that with the kind of narrowness on the side here, it's gonna make it look like it has more volume. It's gonna make it look like it's a more full beard, and it's gonna suit your head shape as well. So I'm going significant here, 3 to 4 inches off the bottom, a slightly rounded trim. And again, if you do like that advice, I'd be happy to draw on a picture if you wanna reach out to me and I'll send that back to you, man. No, I do that all the time, no problem at all.
Definitely your wheelhouse, and I couldn't agree more.
Beautiful.
That's all I can say. I mean,
Yeah.
Barry, great beard. You're one of us, and you know Dan covered it.
Awesome. And Sam's right, man. Our day-to-day like movements really impact our beard. We haven't seen one like this in a while, but we used to have a few on Beard Advice Live where their beard was flaring out, and we're like, we figured out, we're like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I look at a computer, my head goes down. It's like, oh yeah, that'll do it. So yeah, man, it really is interesting. Yeah, we're into the gun show. Today was supposed to be chest day. I was pumped, but this was the first time we've ever done this. We were super feeling pickleball, and we went an hour early because of the snow day. So we played 2 hours of pickleball because we had the court booked. And nobody came after us, so we just kept going and going and going, and we had a blast. So it was fun. But no, we didn't hit chest day today, so I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it.
It's a pickleball binge.
It was a pickleball binge, and it was exhausting. I don't even remember, like 1,800 calories
awesome.
or something crazy. It was awesome.
This is Blaine J. I'm currently trying to get the Kratos style beard. I have currently been growing since my last haircut in January of 2023. Messing up my beard trim and starting over. So that's not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved the ducktail style beard, and the longest I have gone without trimming is 3 months. My son has joked with me that I wouldn't be able to do it, and my beards have always been mediocre.
Ouch.
Mediocre is such a tough word.
That's a son word for the dad. My son would say I'm that at soccer, even though I beat him every time still.
Any tips would be appreciated, and my current routine is wash every other day and oil daily. Also, does it look like I'm on the right track for the Kratos?
Okay. And Ron said, Kratos, God of War, I'm here. I feel like Ron has like an epic level cosplay costume for Kratos. And Eric, you win the internet today. He said, I look down at my job a lot. Joe is so short. That is true. Joe is not a vertically gifted human.
You know, that's one of the, go ahead.
I was just saying, he does have defined calves though. For the record, Joe's calves, they're not quite as girthy as mine. I wouldn't say they're quite as strong as mine, but they are chiseled and defined.
And Joe, I would just recommend doing nothing to Eric today, or even this week, or maybe next week, but maybe in about a month.
Yeah.
Something will happen, and that'll be it, Eric.
Yep.
Because there will be retribution.
And he can't say it, but Eric will know it. So.
Or he'll wonder.
So Eric, You do win the day, though. That was a fantastic, fantastic comment. And say pickleball, Dave comes out of the woodworks. Dave, you're looking great, too, by the way, man. I saw the pickleball post that you made. Legitimately seems like you are in great shape and maybe a slim down. It's awesome. And my dad's lost like 60 pounds strictly off pickleball. That's it. Nothing else. And he looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. Awesome. And he also had a hip replacement like 2 years ago, and he's moving better than ever. And also, we'll get into Blaine's advice here real quick, but we gotta do a little side check for the mayor. Mayor has not liked his side view as it's coming back in and coming back to life. Are we getting closer to it?
I feel pretty good right now.
There you go.
Still a little bit more length up here, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Good day today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
See the mayor there? Oh yeah, the hair. Joe's gonna demote him to toilet duty. What's up, Eric? All right, let's go ahead and check out Blaine here, and then we'll pop back and see specifically what he is looking for. Hey, Blaine. Awesome, man.
You got some good growth.
Yeah, and I believe Blaine joined our Facebook group today. It is titled Commands Corner. There's a link in the description. As always, one of the most amazing moderators in the world. Bill's in the chat, always regulating, helping out with the group. Look at this color. Look at this coverage. Look at the style, the direction. Woo, man, Blaine's right there. Okay, the word mediocre was used. Blaine, I don't blow smoke. I do not give comments just to give. If you get to know me, you will realize that I do not do that in any way, shape, or form. Your beard is absolutely phenomenal as is right now without a lick of advice or change. There's nothing mediocre about that beard. Holy crap. Agree?
Blaine, we've done this show for so long and seen so many beards. They basically talk to us. And what yours is saying to me, and we're hearing loud, and the chat's hearing, is that it wants to be a big beard. You have insane coverage and growth. It's like someone painted him with a brush. One of the big old fat paintbrushes.
Look at that.
So, dude, whenever you hit a moment where you're doubting, please send in, ask us, because that's part of the journey too. Is a lot of guys. Maybe, I just can't even believe mediocre was a word.
No, that's an unbelievable, at this length and at this style and that color, that's one of the best beards I've ever seen. And I'm not kidding. Like, if you entered a beard competition and it was a beard, let's say, even best in show, or if it was a beard that was short, that is an unbelievable beard, man. I'm absolutely loving the shape of it. Look at the style. Like, it looks great. But enough of us fanboying out for a second here. He says he loves the duckbill. He likes the Kratos-style beard. And yeah, I saw Maddie Conrad actually posted a Kratos-style beard DIY trim video today. I left a comment on it, said it was a great video, all that, but I did put in there, caution. It's a very difficult trim. Anytime you're going to start taking an open guard and just going, or an open blade and going down your beard, that's difficult. Very, very difficult for even the most confident and sure-handed folks out there. So,
because you have to, you can't. A 3D object. You can't. There's no straight. You have to, and you have to account for the weight of the. Yeah.
And you're moving, man.
And it's high stakes.
It's awesome. Hey, Blaine, we're happy you're here too, guys. And again, guys, anything you can do to help promote this stream, to promote this channel, I don't just say it for selfish reasons. Does it benefit me? Of course. But I do believe that this channel helps out a lot of beards a lot of times. People every day say, hey man, I'm so glad I found this channel. And it's not just me, it's not just the mayor, it's the comments, it's the whole community. It's far beyond beards. But I do believe.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I have a show Sundays, Beyond Bearded. Because a good beard is confidence. A good beard is pride. It is walking around walking into a store, walking into your job, walking into your home with confidence.
Yeah.
And what's more, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest things you can do is build your confidence by just taking care of yourself, and that can start with your beard.
Yep, no doubt. So again, guys, when you share this channel, I do believe that can help out a lot of people. So for his question specifically, any tips about my current routine? Watch every routine's great, man. You're absolutely doing great. And he says, am I on the right track for Kratos? So someone asked to share a picture. This is the Kratos beard. This is the God of War beard. It is essentially a beefed up version of the mayor's beard, right? Very similar style, very similar structure, but just a little bit longer, a little bit poofier, right? It just comes down. The mayor takes a lot of that weight out. and he uses a guard. He has a video on that. So it's a little bit different. It's like a poofier, bigger mare beard. So with that in mind, that's our reference. Now let's go back to Blaine's here. And he said, am I on the right track? Blaine, you are many, many months away from that beard. So are you on the right track? Yes. Leaving this show, what is your next step? Grow. It's as simple as that. If you want that beard, you are 3, 4, 5, we don't know, 3, 4, 5 months down the road before you even touch it. But I would say consider maintaining and rocking this, because that is an absolutely fantastic beard for your head shape, for your style, for the bald and bearded. It's wonderful, man. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah.
I like that you said that. I agree. It's the look just as, you mean as is?
As is.
As is.
Maintain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. And Wolverine, you were truly right on this, man. The advice that when you guys send in and when you guys are getting help for your beard, you have no concept of how many people reach out and say, man, or comment. Actually, you can have a concept of it. Go watch the previous weeks and just go look through the comments. People come back and they'll tag the time in the video and say, oh, that helped me out so much. Ooh, I want that. Great advice here. So you guys help out a absolute ripple effect of beards when you are asking for advice and when you're giving advice. So keep that in mind. It can really help out a lot of people out there. So beautiful. Great point, Jay. Awesome.
This is Evan E. My good friend Garrett referred me over to you for some advice. Newish to the beard game. I follow you on YouTube as well. I'm looking for a nice, fuller beard along with some more length. I know it takes time and patience. I do like to watch it grow, but lately it seemed to stop. I just need some general advice on how to keep this baby growing.
Awesome. So Evan, couple of things before we even take a look at your beard. Almost every single guy goes through a period where they believe their beard has stopped. Now, a phrase that I myself have been guilty of throwing out, I saw somebody throw it out on our Facebook group yesterday, is terminal length. Most people do not ever come near terminal length. An average terminal length is going to be between like 2 and 3 feet. My beard is 1 foot. Average is between 2 and 3 feet for people that can actually grow beards. So that phrase is just loosely thrown out there, when in actuality, it's likely one of 2 things that is happening if you believe that your beard has stopped growing. One is it's just perception. You do not notice it as much as your beard grows longer, right? You likely are having beard growth even when it doesn't seem like it. Some advice that we give is take a weekly picture in the same spot, same angle, and you'll notice that with evidence that your beard is growing. Now, if you do that and it's actually not growing, I have seen that before, and let's say it's less than a foot, let's say it's a 6-inch beard, and month by month by month it's not changing, it likely is a plateau. It's likely not terminal, it's likely not forever, and it almost always has to do with your internal health. How is your stress? That's number 1. Easiest way to stunt your growth on any kind of hair is increase the stress in your life. It's literally proven. Number 2, what's your water intake? How's your diet? How's your exercise? What changes are going on in your life? All of those things have a massive impact on your hair growth, especially your beard growth. So just consider the perception, but then also understand there may be other factors, and those things can jumpstart themselves in let's say, 3 months down the road, your stress lowers. You start drinking more water again. You get a little bit more active because it's warm outside. So you go outside and then you're like, holy crap, my beard is taken off magically. No, it's not magic. You're just doing better for yourself. So just a little bit of food for thought before we even see the pictures here. Let's check it out. And shout out to Garrett, man. We got to hang out with him on Saturday. Such a good dude. Awesome. Hey, great beard, Evan. Absolutely great beard. I would put a large sum of jerky on the line to say that your beard has not stopped growing. You've got great growth. You have great beard genetics. It is going to continue to grow. There is no doubt that you have the ability to grow longer. But you sent into Beard Advice Live. We'll give you some advice. Evan, I will do a small trim around the bottom. It does look like this side is a little bit longer than this one. That could be because of trimming. If it was trimmed uneven before, it could be just a styling thing. Maybe you just didn't style it a certain way that day. Or maybe you do have slower growth over here. You're like, no, Dan, I haven't even touched my beard. Maybe you sleep on this side of your face. Maybe you do something with your job that's constantly touching that side of your face. Maybe you drive and the UV rays are hitting that. I would just do a nice, tiny little maintenance trim around the bottom right here just to kind of even that up a little bit. That's all I would do.
All I would add is I really like the way you kind of point out, handlebar out the
Yeah.
mustache into the beard. It just is not a look I've seen really before, and it just works for you. But like Dan said, there's no way we're at terminal length. I can tell you that there have been times when I'm not worried about how long my beard is sometimes, but when it just feels bad, and if I stop and check, I've lost one of my steps, one of my routines. To good health for my beard. Usually water, but not always.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Echo, you're welcome in. I always respond to emails. I never go to bed without, I always clear my email list. I always clear my messages. I always clear my checklist every single day before I go to bed, whether that's 11, 2, it doesn't matter. So man, absolutely. You're welcome there. And then Nicholas, I don't know if it's about this one. He says, what would side view advice be on the pick and the goal? Any trimming? I don't fully understand your question, Nicholas. If you could rephrase it, man, that would be appreciated. If it's for a specific entry, if it's in general. Either way, I don't fully copy that one. So rephrase and we'll come back here. Good question here by Daniel. Do you recommend a scissor trim or a trimmer with this maintenance trim? This would for sure be a trimmer maintenance trim. Using a trimmer or a clipper, aka buzzers, you want to go, meow, go right along that line there. Getting that rounded edge with scissors can be done, no doubt about it, but it's much more difficult. And I think trimmers, clippers, the sound, the aggression of them kind of intimidate people at first. Once you realize how much control you have and how easy it is to kind of freestyle, all that goes away and you're like, man, I used to use those jagged straight lines of scissors. Wow.
Yeah, I don't use scissors. I use scissors in the very corners on my mustache. Certain things like that, precision stuff, but you can't beat the edge that you get with clippers. You just can't beat the sharp edge.
Yep, absolutely. And Evan says, thanks, guys. Yeah, Jay still has flashbacks to his clipper atrocity. Yep, absolutely. Evan, thanks for sending in, man. Garrett, thanks for sending him to us. And welcome, dude. Evan, you'll have to make one of our meetups sometime soon. We're going to try and do about one a month where we just get together at B-dubs and hang out. Okay, question time. So if you guys have questions for us, drop them in the chat. We have about 8 to get through first, and then we'll be coming back to them to catch up to the current ones, you guys. He says, can't wait to meet up. Man, cool. Awesome. All right, first one. Tommy says, what are your thoughts on vegetable glycerin for beard hair? Just like any other ingredient, it's personal preference. As long as it comes from a good supplier, it's a good, solid option. Is it my favorite carrier? No. If I'm making my own blend, am I using vegetable glycerin? No. If I see a beard oil with it, am I avoiding it? No. The main purpose of vegetable glycerin is it spreads out the product throughout your beard evenly. There are some ingredients that just want to latch on to whatever they touch, and that's not good for beard health. So you need to have stuff that's going to be able to spread the product evenly, and vegetable glycerin is one of the best if you have those other ingredients that need to be balanced. So complicated, like general question, but it's nothing to be scared of if the company knows what they're doing when they're blending it. How often should I use beard oil a day? Tomas, I recommend at least after every shower or bath. Mayor's a bath guy, you guys. And so for me, I use beard oil in the morning and I use beard butter at night. But there's no set rules on that. Any thoughts? Okay, so yeah, so this one here, and we like to stay away from brands, but we will address this one. It's a kind of big chain one. Everyman Jack Beard Oil is a solid budget beginner oil. Is it gonna harm your beard? No. Is it as good as the companies that we know and love? No, but it's better than the silicone garbage that's out there. And how about the beard wash? Their beard wash is very stripping. Do not use their beard wash more than once a week, but it's fine for once a week. G squared. When you trim your beard, the ends are blunted instead of pointed. Does that point come back over time? Oh, good question. So really, really good question here. So yeah, let's say you have a hair, right? You cut it off. That hair is now blunted. It's just a straight across line. But if you were to look at your longer hairs right now, you're gonna say, my hairs don't look like that, Dan. Why is that? The hair doesn't change. It's just life beating it down. Essentially, your hairs are fibers. And as you rub on your shirt, the seatbelt, as you sleep, all those things are just giving friction. If you have a cotton pillowcase, it's gonna happen. All those things break down the ends of your hairs specifically, stuff brushing and hitting them. So great question. If you look up like thinning beard hairs, I have like a 3-year-old video on that topic. Awesome, man. Oh, sorry, and guys, I promise I'm not trying to monopolize. He's just like hit my wheelhouse here. Jay, love this question. So we got to hang out with Jay Bearded Wolverine on Saturday. And Jay, I'm gonna preface this by saying I saw your TikTok video where someone commented on this. And let's go ahead and address this. My barber trimmed my beard up just above, my neck beard up just above the Adam's apple. Should I let that neckline grow lower again? I feel like I lost my girth. Great question. So Jay posted a TikTok, and I never, so this is the thing, I love Scuba, but he has said one thing about me that was not fair or true, is he said, I'm like the guy at the gym that gives unsolicited advice. Literally, my only advice is solicited. I don't go tell people what to do. I don't even tell people they're wrong when they tell me something. I only try to give advice when I am asked. So just understand that about me, guys. If you want to know something, ask me. But also understand, I'm going to tell you the truth. And in this one, I saw your TikTok, Jay, and I was like, oh no, I disagree with this TikTok, but it's not my place to correct somebody. I'm not gonna correct them. And it seems like it's probably sinking in a bit. So the story here is Jay has a massive beard, as you guys can see in the picture. And he wanted to get his beard cleaned up, and he had this big, wide girth, and his barber said, I wanna kinda knock that down a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take your neckline up higher. And he's got a big beard like mine. And he said, I'm gonna take that neckline up higher. And what that did was it took his beard from out here and it brought it down like this. But it also, and again, this is the barber, this is just nature, how these things work. It also, Jay, if I went back and watched that video, it created some transparency at the bottom of the beard that you never, ever have had. Because think about it like a forest. Right? My beard is this thick with trees in the forest. If you start removing some of those trees, it's gonna be easier to see through the forest. These neck hairs right here are adding to my beard. These are part of my forest. So if you are looking for that girth, yes, lower that neckline. If you are looking for that density, yes, lower that neckline. It's just logic. And
it's like a spring.
Yeah.
It's like a spring underneath. And I never would have thought of that either.
Yeah.
And he probably didn't either.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think it's just sinking in. I agree entirely. And Jay said, yep, I noticed the transparency right away. I did too, only in your video. And people were commenting. There's a thing, right, with, I don't know the exact type of bias it is, but when you do something, most people are naturally inclined to be more complimentary. Most people are naturally inclined to agree with you. I'm aware of this. That's why I never take the compliments too high, and I never take the negativity too low. I try to stay right down the middle. And a lot of people were like, that's so true. Yes, I need to do that. And now my heart was hurting, because I'm like, no, if you want a big, full, volume-filled beard, the neckline is key. It just is. Like, I don't even think I'll debate anybody on it, but I don't even really think it's up for a proper debate. So
he's going through something I've gone through a few times, which is walking away from, either I did it more often, someone else did, a trim, and my heart is sunk because I know it's just not what I wanted. It's just not where, and guys, that's such a great parallel to life lessons too, is the beard will come back, and so will you, no matter what happens. Like, and I've watched it, because I never really had an option to not have the beard, right? As I was growing and going through the process of getting used to it and eventually loving having a beard, I had made some big mistakes, and I just had to kind of rock that. That's what we do in life, is things are going to hit us, and we keep moving.
Yep. And with that, very simply put, here's a good rule of thumb. If you cannot see the neckline by looking straight on, why touch it? Why does it matter? What does it mean anything if this part of my skin is cleaned up? No, nobody sees that, including my wife. Even though I take my shirt off, you don't see that. So why would I ever clean that up when it can add a little bit of color? It can add a little bit of density to my beard. So if you're looking at it straight on, there's no reason to clean the neckline up. Now, if his neckline had a bunch of hair down here, I would recommend that he cleaned it up where that line was looking straight on. And then as his beard, if you had a goal of this, let it lower naturally as you grow. But yeah, let it go. Let it grow, Jay.
I'm
Thank
really
you for asking that, man.
happy with the neckline. Like, it's never been touched, and it gives me a lot more like flexibility.
This time around.
Yeah, correct. It gives me a lot more flexibility with the beard because it kind of just looks like the beard. Like when people look at me, they don't realize like my beard kind of cuts through the chin, and then there's nothing, but you really don't spot it.
Yeah, so great question. And it's so funny you asked that because, dude, my mind was racing when I saw that video. But again, just to put that out there, you guys, I do not give unsolicited advice. I want everyone to be happy. I want them to be confident. If you want advice, if you have a question, you gotta ask me, but you gotta be ready for the answer. There's a lot of people that don't like real answers. They like people saying, it looks great. Yeah. If you're gonna ask, you're gonna get that answer. So just keep that in mind. Will face wash damage or harm the beard? Yes. So every structure of your face is different than your facial hair. You want to use something that is absolutely intended for your beard. Now, to give you a different view on this, you said that I have blackheads on my nose and want to clear it up. Dakota, as long as you're in the shower or you're in the sink and you get your beard fully saturated with water, your beard is wet, it's completely filled with fresh water, you take that face wash, you wash your nose, you wash your face, you rinse it off, it is not going to impact your beard one bit. Your beard is already filled with water. That wash is just gonna wash right off and rinse right around your beard and not impact it. The difference would be is if you took that face wash and you massaged it into your beard and you used it like a beard wash, that will damage your beard. But don't worry about runoff as long as your beard is wet. If it's dry, it's probably gonna fill those crevices and then there could be some damage. Just make sure it's saturated and you're good. No problem there. You use face wash, right?
I do. Never had an issue.
Yep, absolutely. Did you mention in your last video how to properly measure? Yep, I did. Check it out. It was actually today. So check that one out, Steven. It dropped this morning. It's a quick one, but good one. Proud of it. Any advice on bringing out the curls? Great question, man. So, number one, don't use heat. Number two, go easy on things like conditioner. Go easy on anything that's gonna add weight to your beard, that's gonna pull it down, and just keep it as clean and as healthy as possible. If you have naturally curly hair, the best way to bring those curls out in a non-harmful way, we can go to some harmful ways, but a non-harmful way is keep it clean and keep it healthy. Those curls will love it and will embrace it. It's very, very kind of simple to do that. Just do what you're doing in a great way. Yeah, pretty easy. And if you like that, look up online like natural hair, and that's gonna be a community that's gonna really embrace curls and really give you some good advice as it goes throughout. So, yep. Okay, now let's get going through here. Okay, what would side view advice, okay, is that the one from earlier? Might have been. What would side view advice be in the pic? I think that might be his one from earlier. We'll see if he came back to us on this one. Yeah, I think so. Okay. How frequently should one use CBD oil or butter versus normal? No right or wrong answer. For me, CBD makes my beard really soft. It's just like bird oils. So I like to use it at night when I don't have to worry about styling. And maybe every other night, I go with the CBD product. What about you, man?
Same. Definitely, it's one that I will do in the evening before I need to style it much, because it just gives it more volume, makes it more soft. And then, since I take, I also will get washed up after I work out in the morning. Another one, then I can do a regular one without CBD. Because it just softens great.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so he said, on that last pic, should he be trimming his beard to be at his goal? I don't remember, Nicholas, on which
He's
one.
got another one down there.
Same thing. Yep, same one.
He's going to grow his beard longer so he'll be able to line it up on the side.
Oh, yeah. So different question on that one.
Oh.
But he's repeated this one too. On the last pick, should he be trimming his beard? You'd have to go back and check. I think we gave thorough advice on each one. So yeah, you just have to listen to those ones. Would you recommend bringing the curls out to a Super Santa beard? Either way, I've seen great straight Santa beards. I've seen curly Santa beards. So yeah, no problem. Oh man. Tough one here, JC. How can I keep my beard not messy while wearing a face mask? You can't. The only thing you can do is find a mask that is conducive to your beard and then treat your beard style afterwards. If you're wearing a traditional mask, if you're wearing one that goes around the chin, your beard lost in that situation. There's really nothing. Your hair is malleable. Your hair is going to transform to something that's pressing on it. They're just not good for beards, simply put.
No big tips. There was never a really great answer.
Yep. Mayor, why bath versus shower?
Just always what I've done. I grew up taking baths, and I think it's really it's relaxing. Plus, I do a lot of my I'll wash my face, and I can do a lot of that all sitting down there chilling.
Yeah, there you go. Best practice to reduce beard drift, beard wash, and beard oil. Those are the only two things that can possibly impact on the product side of things for your beard drift. If you look up Dan C bearded beard drift, I have a video on it. Essentially, you want to exfoliate with a comb down to the skin. You want to use good beard wash. You want to make sure you're drinking enough water. You should start with the question, what is beard drift? It is dead skin cells that are building up on the surface of your skin where the hair follicle is forming. So if that is happening to you, you're not physically getting rid of those dead skin cells. How do you do that? The more water you drink, your body flushes them out. The more you exfoliate and rake them off, you are getting rid of them. When you use a beard wash with nice suds and get into the pores, you're removing those. And then an oil is gonna nourish the skin so you don't have as many dead skin cells. But product side of things is only gonna be beard wash and beard oil. Only two things that can possibly help you on those, okay? How would his neckline be fixed? You just gotta let it grow. So that's a good question. So if Jay is saying, hey man, I got transparency down here, I got this, you're gonna let that neckline grow naturally and then just do some maintenance trims. As your neckline lowers, you're gonna trim your beard a little bit as you go. It's kind of a give or take battle as you go through. Hey, Dan, I used oil than the heated brush. Will the heated brush stay oily like a comb, or is it you can clean the oil off the heated brush and the heat will get rid of it? You definitely need to clean the heated brush. It's not so much for the oil, but it's so much for the dead skin cells and all the stuff that builds up on it. You want to use alcohol and then something to physically get in there and clean. Whether it's a brush, a toothbrush, I use a pipe cleaner. You can use really anything. Yeah, Q-tip, depending on the make and model that you have. But you definitely need to clean a heated brush. Okay. I see what you're saying. I think it's a good habit to clean the neckline. Maybe my beard is short. Yeah, if your beard is shorter, it's definitely a good habit. If your beard is covered, there's just no reason to touch it. So, yep. I knew the correct answer. Yeah, Jay, I knew you did. I knew that's why you asked it. And I knew it had to take, and I'll be honest, I see the mayor go through that. There's times where something will happen and it just takes time for it to sink in. And then eventually as you kind of naturally grieve, you're like, okay, yep. And so I see it, man. We're humans. We're interesting people. How we mentally protect ourselves. It's so interesting. Okay.
The process to acknowledging.
Yeah, it's wild. And we all do it.
I think it's different with different people.
Yeah.
My process with you is absurdly short for some reason.
Yeah.
Genuinely, but it has to be.
Right. All right, here you go, Mayor.
Dancy, if the mayor was going to grow his beard longer, should he line up the side or an angle of the beard? So yeah, I guess the question is the way I wear my beard. What would be the things that problems I would run into as I try to grow towards something like yours?
So it is different for everybody. We don't know what the mayor's beard is going to look like. It's different for your genetics. It's different for your styling routine. And no, literally don't know until he does. It's one of those things where it's grow it and then we'll see where it goes. I have a feeling the mayor wouldn't have to touch too much because he's pretty in tune with styling and how it works to affect hair. The more you know how to impact hair, the less trimming you have to do. It's so true. And the more patience you have, the more investment you have, all of that factors in. So, yep. Co-washing's the enemy. I'm not a fan myself. Not a fan. Is it a good practice to use different oils and butters in the evening than you used in the morning? Totally personal preference. I'm a firm believer in the beard plateau effect. I have a video on that where your body takes different traits from different ingredients and different products out there, and it can benefit you in great ways. Now, is it important to dial it into morning and night differences? Not necessarily. I usually will wear an oil during the morning, and then I'll wear the same company's butter at night, most times.
I would go and say, and I'm kind of just thinking this in the back of my head lately, my face lotion and also soaps, also rotating brands.
Yes.
I get it's like you get the best out of this one, and then get the best out of that one, and then get
Yes.
for skincare and for like your body, like soaps.
And when he says the best out of this one, that's so spot on. You are literally getting properties from this body wash and then this one. I do the same. I do it with head hair shampoo, beard wash, everything. I rotate through. And people have always said these things. They say, my body has gotten used to it. Kind of, yeah, you're not wrong, right? And then you introduce something and your body's like, what's this? Pew, 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 pew. There's these new traits coming in.
And it just feels like it looks better. Like you just kind of know.
Yeah.
So anytime you can do that, which isn't always, you know, and I have 3 things on hand.
Yep.
Do it.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Sterling says, I don't have any CBD oil. Would you consider it a must or good to have or could have? What makes it special? So, Sterling, I know you're a very analytical guy. I love your comments, man. Keep them coming on the videos. What makes CBD special? It is a very active, potent, anti-inflammatory ingredient. Essentially, our skin gets inflamed. Every part of our body gets inflamed to different levels. And what happens with your skin is it gets tense, it gets stressed, and it starts mounding up around the hair. And it essentially is the nutrients that need to get to the hair, they get slowed down. So you don't get as much benefit with growth, with health, with styling, all those things. And anything you can do to loosen those up, more nutrition comes through. So it depends on your situation. If you feel like your beard is not soft, CBD is awesome for that. But if you feel healthy with it, if you feel like it looks good, it styles well, all of that stuff, is it a must? No, absolutely not. If you told me, Dan, you can only keep CBD or regular, I'm keeping regular. But if you want a softer beard, for almost everybody, it's going to do that. Yep.
Yeah, I'd say nice to have.
Yeah, that's a good category to put in for sure. Does Dr. Nick trim his mustache above the lip? He mainly lets it grow along the lip and then curls it down, but he does do some trimming along the lip line as well. Yep. Heat before bed, after shower, or air dry? I would recommend air dry on that one. It feels good. There actually are some benefits, but it's just like anything else in this world, you can do too much of it. Water's a great thing, but you can do too much of it, right? So I do not recommend it before bed because you're gonna mess up your beard in bed anyway, so why worry about that styling?
You could do a blow dryer with no heat. If there's a reason you think it's too wrinkly, like when you sleep on it with
Yeah.
Don't go to bed with a wet beard either, though.
Yep. Tips for drinking enough water without needing to get up through the middle of the night. Marini, initial thought. I drink a ton of water and I do not wake up in the night to pee. And Caden's younger than us too.
It's a rhythm. It takes a while. I think your body has to get used to it. I used to do that come to think of it, all the time. And I do like maybe once a night now.
You do go once a night?
Like maybe once a night.
Interesting. I literally never
like
get up.
A couple hours before I got to get up to like work out or whatever.
Yeah, Caden, I would say the best benefit or the best method to making sure your body is processing it properly is spreading out your spreading out your water intake throughout the day as evenly as possible. Most people will chug water when they're like, I didn't drink enough. Your body does not process that. It is not anywhere near as beneficial as spreading it out. Also, if you do have increased moments of water, make sure it's with food. There's real science there when it comes to delivering delivering water into your body to be processed. It should be done with food, even if it's something as simple as a cucumber. I try to always have something, a peanut, a cashew, something like that, to be able to help process it. So my biggest advice would be spread it out throughout the day as evenly as possible. So wouldn't beard, face, and body wash have the same ingredients? Nope, they definitely not. Your beard hair is different than your body hair. The skin underneath your beard is literally different than the skin on the rest of your face. Your pores are often, on average, 3 to 4 times as large under your beard as they are compared to your face. There's just a different amount of sebum oil. Under your beard, you produce some of the least amounts of sebaceous glands on your body. Why? Because the pores are bigger, they take up more space, and they don't have more glands. So they're all different for those reasons. Yep, 100%. Gamer says, not a question, but observation. I trimmed my mustache as an experiment to see if transparency trim make it look thicker. Surprisingly, it does. Interesting.
So
Okay.
taking off the bottom, maybe balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it could in some portions, but the difference with a mustache is almost all of your mustache is under the skin. So with a beard, you have transparency because you don't have a backboard as much, right? So if you're taking it off the lip and you're getting rid of that transparency, absolutely. If I'm taking out any body of this part of my mustache, there's zero chance that that's going to make it
I
look
got
fuller
you.
and denser.
I was thinking he was talking. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking he's talking about like he had just did a lower beard transparency trim because his mustache was
Yep.
thinner. I got it now.
Yep. Donnie, what are your thoughts on cold shower therapy? I was just talking to the mayor about this before the stream. I've been doing a cold blast at the end of the shower for decades, but recently read it's a hair growth technique. Yes. Donnie, please look up Dancy Bearded Cold Rinse. I recommend it to everyone for beard health, for skin health, and for mental health to an extreme level. I do it every day. And when people say, man, I can't do that, that's hard. I'm in the middle of a Michigan winter. We have an ice sleet storm outside, and I'm still gonna do my cold rinse in the morning. If I can do it, literally any of you can. It's just mental. It's not anything that's gonna hurt you, and it's so good for you. You wanna wash with warm. That is proven to clean better, but finish with a cold rinse. So important. I really do believe that. And if you want to look up, yeah, as you said, you've read that's hair growth. Look up the benefits of we have these things called shock proteins. Man, I could go on and on about that one, but yes, so thank you, Doug. So unbelievably beneficial. Yep, no doubt about it. All right, guys. Sorry, not a beard question, but yep, this one is a snapback. He does not have any fitted hats. Snapback, but he does have a couple different versions of the snapbacks. Face steaming with distilled water, yay or nay? I don't know. I've never looked into that, Xavier. That's a really good question. Yeah, I have no concept.
You know, interesting because it opens up your pores.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. Never tried it either.
Yeah, we're not afraid to say when we don't know something, and I don't know that one. I'll write that down as an idea to look into. I do have a steamer, so could be something to that.
Is it for your face or clothes?
Close.
I don't. Yeah, look into it.
For sure. Well, steam is steam. I mean, Dan, there was a gentleman on the show that had a long beard. You said he had transparency trim. Do you know how long his beard was? I do not. I would guess it was down halfway through his shirt, 12 to 16 inches. Would you do the oil scent hack on neutral beard butter? Does CBD lose any quality? So, and he said, sorry, I forgot the CBD part. So essentially what he's saying, hey, is if I have a beard butter that's unscented and it's CBD, if I add oil to it, does it impact it? It depends what oil you're adding, Roger. If it's a CBD oil, no impact whatsoever. If it's a normal oil, you are diluting the CBD a little bit. Yep, so good question. With the membership join stickers for chat, maybe America could get a sticker added. That's a great idea. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll be honest, I set those stickers once and did a ton of research on figuring out how to get the proper image size and all. It's not an easy process as everyone wants to think with this stuff, but I will see what I can do there. It's a good idea.
Priority list, very, very cool. Very nice of you to say that. Not a big deal either way.
There you go.
You know,
water and sodium intake increase your urge to use the bathroom. Interesting. Yeah, I was just trained so many years as a teacher that we couldn't use the bathroom that I have no problems with that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dan. As a 10-year-older guy, I think some of us we run into that as you get a little older.
Yeah, I hear you. But our question was from someone 10 years younger than me.
Really?
Yeah, Caden's a young guy, so.
Of course you would know that.
I feel like the right of my beard is significantly slower growing. Yep, especially on my face. Could that be cause? Yes, it is. Eric, 100% it's from the sleeping. Just think about it, guys. When you are resting, you are getting all the nutrients evenly right now. If you sleep on a certain side of your face, you are constricting the blood vessels that deliver those nutrients. That's 6, 7, 8 hours of every single day that one side is getting more nutrients than the other. It's super, super simple when you think about it like that. So either try to sleep on your back or try switching sides when you sleep. That can help out a lot. All right. I pee like 4 times. I drink over a gallon. Yeah, Bearded Traveler, in the last 4 years have maybe 0.5% of the days ever been under a gallon. These days I'm at a gallon and a half with the gym. So yeah, man, I'm drinking it. I think a lot of people are underestimating the ability of spreading out that water evenly throughout the day. When most people have water goals, they're chugging at different parts. Just keep it consistent. Keep it a part of just everything you do. What do you think of the new heated brush? Oh, yeah. So I posted 2 brushes on my Instagram that Babyliss sent out to me. One is a cold chirotherapy. I'm going to get more experimenting on that, but so far, amazing. The other one was a heated brush. Not recommended whatsoever. I love Babyliss, but do not use their heated brush. It does not have any protection on the top of their heating mechanisms. For example, the Aberlite Pro has little plastic guards that are 2 millimeters, I would say. And then the the heating mechanism is below that.
Yep.
And it's on every single one. You have an outside thing that doesn't have any heating mechanisms. And then the inside ones, they even have those skin guards. This had no skin guard. I burned the heck out of my lip. I put that thing on expecting it to be like that. That's on me. But it went, no. Do not use that on your beard. I don't even know how women use it. It's intended for women, for head hair. But how do you not burn your scalp? Yeah, that was not a good experience. But the cold brush, ooh, that thing was good impression. Can I use a daily beard wash on my head hair? Oh yeah, for sure, man. Most days I use beard wash on my head hair. Yeah, no doubt. All right, take care, OG Fitzroy. I don't know if you're still in here, man, but yeah, take care. Okay, big fan of cold rinse. Love it. I really like, okay, Goodfellas, reach out to us, man. Dan C. Bearded on Instagram or dan_command@yahoo.com. My contact information is in the description. The mayor's is in the description as well. I have very straight beard hair, about 2 to 3 inches long. My cheek hairs start to curl down towards my chin. It always looks shorter than the chin hair. My cheek hairs start to, or just accept it. Justin, send in, man.
Yeah.
Send into the show. It's hard for us to fully visualize. We can say use heat, of course, but send in. beardadvicelive@gmail.com. We would like to help you specifically. Oh yeah, man, send in. St. Louis Rob, same thing, man. Reach out to me. I would love to give you some advice. Do you have any videos on growing a thicker mustache? No. That's kind of just in the natural, healthy habits of growing a beard. It's nothing particular for the mustache.
Avoid trimming as much as possible and style rather than trim.
Yep. Grooming reviews. Glad you asked this question. I actually have a video on this. Do you think a trim will help grow back stronger and faster? No, absolutely not. 100%.
Doesn't work.
No. Here's why. Your hair grows from the base of your face. It has no connection to the end. There's nothing that impacts that other than what's going on below the surface, right? So no. And I think this comes, and everybody thinks this at one point. Everyone says this. I think this comes from plants. You know the idea of pruning a plant?
So it's more lush.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, there's more than that. So pruning a plant can actually physically change how it grows back. There are plants that will die if you don't prune it. But when you prune them, they grow in, and I only know this because Sam's a plant freak. We have some plants that she has to prune and clip parts, and it grows back faster, healthier, better. Your beard does not do that. The main difference is those plant parts are alive, thriving, and living. Our beard's not exactly alive. There's some gray area with that, but no, trimming does not make your beard grow faster whatsoever. All right. Steam room or sauna? Both. That is a good question, though. Still waiting for your merch? Yep. So we are hoping that the renovations are going to be done this weekend. With renovations and construction and stuff, you never know. But we're hoping this weekend, and then Sam has to set up her shop and get stuff. The next couple of weeks, Pete, we're hoping within 2 weeks, we'll have the site live and ready to roll. So my issue is transparency through my beard. I shave where my neck meets my underchin. Stop doing that. Richard, look at your beard, man. Your beard is long. Stop. Shave. That word shave should not be there for you. That is 100% your issue is from that shaving. Stop it. Bad. If you have trouble sleeping on your back, assisted with beard help, attempt to temporarily change where you sleep. Interesting. Okay.
I used to do that when I had back problems as a teenager.
Interesting. I could see that. So you're like forcing yourself, then you get to your bed and you're like, oh, this is so much comfier. I can sleep on my back. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barry, same thing, man. Product recommendations. Reach out to me individually. I would literally be happy. Hey, what's up, Marcus? What's up, buddy? Come on in, Murder Min. What's a reasonable price to pay for a good trim at a barber shop? Love this. Beard trim. Thank you, Matthew. Guys and girls in the chat that go to the barber shop and get your beard trimmed, specifically beard trim, not haircut and beard, what do you think is a reasonable price? Now, keep in mind, it's hard to find a good beard barber. So if you are like, this one's a little bit more, but he's really good, pay more. Please pay more. What do you think is reasonable for a beard trim?
Well, to me, it depends on whether I'm putting it with my hair. Are they doing my hair? Because I think it's kind of like the add-on, which...
Well, let's say both then. Like if
Okay.
you go in for a beard trim or the add-on. Because, yeah, you should get a discount if it's an add-on.
The price is going to be $25. I'll probably pay $40, $35, $40. You know, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so just if you walk in and say, hey, I need a beard trim.
And a haircut.
Okay, no, all right. What about just beard trim?
I think it's $8 where I go. 8 to 10, but it's usually, I don't think they really ever, I don't know. I've never had it just for the
Interesting.
beard.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not the
wouldn't
guy
be-
to go in for just my beard.
Gotcha. Yeah, it wouldn't be $8
No,
for just a
it
beard trim.
wouldn't.
Nobody's
No.
worth that time.
Right.
I would say a good plus or minus is $20. That's a fair price. Now, do I think the top barbers are going to charge you $20 for a beard trim? Heck no. That beard trim's going to take a half hour. $20 for a half hour of work? That's not a lot.
You know, maybe the big thing too is like, what is your beard trim versus mine?
Yeah.
You know, or what is one of a big?
Which is interesting because that's counterintuitive. Your beard trim's much more involved than mine.
Technically, yeah. I guess you're right.
Not like straight up. Like mine's just
And
whoop.
in my head, I thought it was a different, just
Right.
on size. But
Yeah. No, yours is way more difficult to trim than mine. And I'm not saying that like humbly, guys. When I say in videos, my beard trim's very simple. It is. The mayor's is not. This is not simple to trim. The Kratos Maddie Conrad video today is not simple. So great question. I would say $20 is a good line. He said, I've seen 100 with a haircut. Well, so Matthew, I think what you're probably referring to is there is a viral video right now, and that is Jalen Rose, Fab Five, Michigan guy. He said, he made a video recently and said, nobody should be paying under $100 for a good haircut and lumped in a beard trim. There are celebrity barbers. I know a lot of them personally. I go to these barber shows and stuff. Yes, if you're going to those people, you are going to pay $100. Now, if you're going to your local hometown barbershop, I think that $20 is a fair price for a beard trim. Now, if somebody's very good and is charging $30, do I think that you should run? No, they're probably worth that. $30 for a half an hour? Unbelievably fair. Unbelievably fair. So, yeah. Mayor, are you ready for a Viking beard?
Maybe.
Maybe. Say I put oil in at night. Is it too much to reapply? Oh, no. You need, Seth, for sure, morning and night. Yep. If you put it in at night, morning is a must for me. Could you imagine going through your day without beard oil in the morning?
Yeah. No, it would be like having a hangnail that you would scratch. You know, like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Can't be 100%. If you can't be 100%, what's the point?
Why can I fall asleep in minutes on the couch? Right. At the dinner table. It's so true. So true. Oh, man.
At the end of the day, your day's done and you're still running in your head, making sure you did all the things you were supposed to. And the couch, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I still got more to do.
Yep. Doug, great feedback here. Doug goes to one of these like new. So guys, there's kind of two worlds of barbering. You have the old school barber shop, right? In our town, there's one called Reed's. It was owned by this guy. Now his son owns it. Old school. Those prices are going to be lower. Have I ever recommended that barbershop? No. I don't think they're bad, but it's not what Doug's looking for. It's not what the mayor is looking for. We also have one in Flint called Consolidated. Much younger, much more up to date with current trends and styles. That's going to be a little bit more expensive. Doug goes to one of those new age, trendy, current style type places. $35, I can see that. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. And then it depends on where you're at. Ron pays $15 plus tip. He has a very good barber, but he's in a very tiny town. Very, very small town. When you do that, the prices are lower. It's just kind of how it works. So 20 plus tip, I would say that that's baseline. Nate says 65 for the whole deal. Yep, and then tip, you're probably looking near 100. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Just want to say that next month will be my year. Nice, Dusty. I never thought I'd make it this far. Very cool, man. You're almost at a little over 6 inches a year. That's right at great growth. Yep, doing really, really well. Really well. Awesome, guys. The tip on top depends on how much work is spent. True. My most recent trim, I tipped extra because she took a lot off the norm. Hey, good feedback there. Yep, absolutely. I've actually never seen that video. Interesting. It's a super big debate online right now. All the barbers are kind of covering it. So interesting. Awesome, guys. Thank you for sending in those questions. That was packed. Yeah, man. That was awesome.
Yeah. All right, this is Kevin L. I'm 35 years old, and I've had a beard for about a year and some change. I had the beard several months and was just not patient enough. I kept messing with it and eventually jacked it up. I had a lot of hairs in the front of my beard that were shorter than the ones behind it because I kept trimming the flyaways. I took it way down to stubble and started over. Since then, I've grown a lot in my understanding of beards, oils, butters, tools, etc. Looking for some advice on a couple different areas. Shape. Going for a long, narrow beard. I have about 2.5 inches from the tip of my chin. I'm shooting for another 2 to 3 inches in length. However, what bugs me is the sides. My sides are really long, and I feel like I'd like to have them be more blended into my hair. My hair is long in this picture, but usually I go with a short buzz haircut, big on the top. One on the sides, blend in the middle with a 2. What are your thoughts on the sideburns? My routine, all right, looks pretty normal. 2 to 3, finish every 2 to 3 days. Should I rotation of products? Yeah, we always suggest that.
Okay. For sure. Yep.
Any general advice on shaping? Any other general advice?
Perfect. So yeah, if you were listening, Kevin, and I see you're in here, man, thanks for being here. We definitely recommend rotating products, just like we talked about in the question segment. Let's take a look, and then we'll hit your questions. Awesome, man. Love this. Great beard. Super cool hair color difference with the beard and the hair color.
Yeah.
And there's, man, I have a video that's in the docket. I haven't filmed it, but it goes over the genetics of where your hair color comes from. And your head hair,
so cool.
Your head hair and your beard are not related where the genetics come from of the color. It's wild. It's a super deep. The reason I haven't made the video is it's like really technical terms that I don't fully understand. And so my ability to put it in a digestible way is just not possible right now. I had a scientist buddy of mine work on it. But that's super cool here. Okay. So his first question is, what are your thoughts on the sideburns? When you're looking over here, what do you think, Mary? And he did say that his hair's longer, so not the hair, but the beard sideburns. Thoughts?
You know, I think there could be a smoother transition into the sideburn. The sideburn could go even at this length. It could taper in a little bit more.
Agreed.
And look smoother.
For sure. So Kevin, at this length, I do believe that it is. The word I would use is a little bit poofy. I would go a little bit shorter here. If you watch my video from like last Sunday, it was pretty recently where I showed how I did my sides. I think that would fit perfectly for you. And it's just gonna be about transitioning these sides here. And what that's gonna do is kind of narrow your profile as well. I think that's gonna be very beneficial to your look. So awesome there. And then kind of saying, hey, just some general advice. Anything else stand out to you, Mary?
I just really, not really. I think you expressed like it just seemed like you second guessed yourself last time. You have a fantastic beard. Don't ever talk yourself out of it again, and just enjoy the ride. With the it's a very unique beard color hair combo, and I think it's an awesome look.
Me too.
We've never really seen that, and I think that is like special. You
That's
gotta
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool for sure. Kevin, the only thing I would say is it depends on your like full long-term goals. Did we get an actual long-term goal here? You said I'm shooting for another 2 to 3 inches in length. Okay. So another 2 to 3 inches in length here. The tough call, so all I would say, Kevin, and I often don't recommend this, but I would clean up under your ear right here. See this line? Leave that alone. This is not really a part of your beard. This is more neck hair. And I get a similar thing. This part of my hair actually connects to this part of my hair. And it looks like yours might as well. So right here, just clean up the neck. Get some trimmers and just as you go through. And that's gonna be a little easy one. your hair isn't the darkest in the world, so I don't think it's going to be super hard to maintain. So just a little cleanup on the sides.
And thicker the better on the mustache, especially if you're gonna add some length.
For sure, man. But looks good. Yeah, like the mayor said, don't ever doubt your beard, man. It's a really wonderful beard.
This is Robert. I don't know what beard style or shape would suit best my head shape. I've just been letting it grow and focusing on the positive. Now that my beard has gotten longer, I discovered that the hair on my chin has these long, loose curls. I really like it. It gives my beard a uniqueness. Come to find out, my older brother has the same exact thing.
That's cool.
Another thing I like are my cheek lines. I don't have to cut them in. Overall, I'd like my beard to be about 3 to 4 inches longer, and then I'd maintain that length, but not sure about which style or shape would look best for my head shape. The first picture is washed out and blot dry from the front. Second is washed from the side, and the one is after he styled it.
Okay, cool. So 3 to 4 inches longer, but wants to know, hey, as I get longer, what should it look like? So first is washed and blow dried. Second is from the side, same thing. And then third is no heat. So essentially 1 and 2, and then kind of showing just the different looks here. Okay, so hey, awesome, Robert, welcome, dude. So he's saying, hey, I have these like, those are some for real. What did he call? I want to see his verbiage here. He said, I discovered my chin has these long, loose curls. Yeah, because that's not a wave, that's not a dip. Those are, you're like right here, these bad boys are actually curling. So that's pretty cool, man. There's a lot of character to that.
This is a unique show.
For sure.
We've got some just different ideas, different perspectives, and different beards.
For sure. And yeah, so this one is definitely, as Juice says, a cleaner look, a more not well put together, but a more like straight kind of all in one together. I like them all. Now, to address your question, 3-4 more inches, what kind of style should you go for? 3-4 more inches, you're into a long beard territory. Like you're actually going for it. I would say just go as big as possible in that case. There's not a whole lot of styling variance. Like, right, think about my beard at this length. There's not a whole lot I can do to style my beard. You know, it's like you can't really take off the sides. It's not much. So if you want 3-4 more inches, just grow and let's see what your beard does, man. That's gonna be a really cool journey to see where it's going. And yeah, I'm with Leo on this one. Keep the same shape at the longer length. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, just an off the wall idea. You could leave the curls and try to just style the sides and see if you could make those work. But I think you got so many options with this. Just whatever feels like you. Yeah, I think is your pick, and it looks great. And I love it.
Yep. At this time, man, just let it grow, Robert. Let it grow. Awesome.
This is Nick. Last November, I participated in No Shave November. I already had my normal length, maybe an inch, probably less. After the month, I decided I liked the longer look. As of December 23rd, I decided to grow a beard. I've never had a beard this long or full. Right now, I'm 3 inches on the chin, 2.5 on the sides. My mustache is the reason I chop everything off. My mustache would be the reason I chop everything off. I have no idea how to style, keep it simple and healthy, or what to do. I'm stuck between men, never needing products. It's all marketing and seeing channels like yours promoting the health benefits, trying to keep things as natural as possible. I've researched a lot of subjects and products. Thank you for always staying positive. It helps. Trust me. When you deal with such negativity on regular, it's refreshing to see your live shows. And any and all advice is welcome. Have a great day. And the scar in the right corner of my mouth. It's weird. It's weird that the left doesn't grow either. Okay.
Awesome, Nick. Hey, you are not alone, and I don't take any offense to this, man. I believe most men that start watching this channel or start taking care of their beard in general go through this transition of, hey, it's all snake oil. You're just selling crap to sell crap. Versus, is there actually some benefits to this? And Nick, I'm here to tell you, man, like I said, you're not alone. Garrett went to bed, but I can share this because he said it publicly. He was in the same route. He started taking care of his beard and was kind of like, and he was a like bodybuilding champion. He works at an automobile industry where he's doing hydraulic presses and all these like manly things. And he's like, do I really need this stuff to take care of my beard? And then to take it a step further, his wife, Melissa, who's amazing and participates and loves this channel, she kind of called him out on the same thing and said, hey, I don't know about this Dan guy. I don't know about this beard community. Seems like a bunch of salesmanship. So she said, let me go ahead and see if this is salesmanship. Let me go ahead and see if there is snake oil. I want to watch for myself. She started watching. She said, I learned a lot. I could feel the difference in his beard. I could see the difference in his beard. He said he felt the difference, saw the difference. So oftentimes experience is the only teacher that matters in that situation. I believe if you follow the routines, you use the products, you will feel a difference. That's why this channel grows, right? If it was stuff that was not working, people would subscribe and then they would leave. So I do fully understand where you're at. I have a feeling you will tip that fence soon. All right, let's go and take a look here, see what he has. And yeah, man, we're always here for you to be positive. Awesome, Nick. Thanks for sending in, dude. All right, so first off, he says, the mustache will be the death of my beard. I don't know how to keep it simple, healthy, trimmed, any of that. Taking a look at this mustache mare. Any advice for Nick?
I'm not really. I think what's going on if it's bothering you, it doesn't bother my eyes at all. Like I don't see anything.
No.
Except it growing really well. So I think it's probably how it's bothering you internally and how you don't like the feel of it. And I can tell you're keeping it up high. What I had to break through that kind of barrier too, personally. And for me, it was just making sure that I was softening and making sure that beard hair was as soft on the mustache was as soft as possible, because eventually I got used to it being on my upper lip. And I do think it's a better look. But in the meantime, if you got to keep it up above like you are, it doesn't look, there's nothing wrong with that.
For sure, and keep it growing, man. You got a thick mustache, dense mustache. And I think TJ's right. A lot of men view products, and he says like hygiene products in general, as feminine or unmanly. And you're right, man. Most of us don't grow up with fathers or grandfathers teaching us how to take care of ourselves outside of shaving. That's like the one coming of age man ceremony. Here's a funny story, and I'll come back to Nick here. I was never even, this sounds ridiculous, but as a teenager, I was never even taught how to use something as simple as body wash. So, for example, I used to use body wash when I was like 14, and I didn't rinse it off. I put it on my body and I left the shower. How do I know? How did I learn that was wrong? I was working at my first job. I was the golf cart boy at a golf course where you go and pick up the balls from the range. You drive the thing. It started raining. My buddy looked at me. He's like, "What's on your arm?" I had like suds coming on my arm. I'm like, "Oh, I think it's my body wash."
Dude.
And he's like, "You didn't rinse it off?" I'm like, "I don't know," because we don't. It's not. At least my age growing up. I'm assuming your age, a lot of you guys out there now, I think times are changing. Luckily, at least how I'm interacting with my boys, we weren't taught how to use those things, right? It wasn't like this big thing. We're middle school teachers, former. I know for a fact there's a lot of parents that have never mentioned the word deodorant to their 14-year-old son, and that is a fact. So you're right, man. A lot of us grow up without having that in place, where oftentimes with females, that is a bonding moment. Let me teach you how to take care of your hair. Let me teach you how to do these things. Nobody taught me how to style my hair. Nobody taught me those things as I was growing up.
And as it goes for masculinity, I will tell you that I am much more of a man now that I do take care of my beard and now my body than I was before.
Facts.
When I used to say some of those similar things.
Facts, absolutely. And we're always, I see it on the channel all the time. We're like against it, then you try it and you're like, oh, this is better. Like, this is better. And it starts with your beard. Then you start looking at your body wash, then your face wash, then your shampoo, then even your deodorant. Like these things, we start to see that. And it's like, oh, it actually is manly to take care of yourself. It's manly to be proud of yourself. So, yeah, absolutely. And, okay. He asked for general advice, right? He said, I have a scar on the right corner of my mouth. It's weird that the left doesn't grow either. Super interesting. So he's got a scar. Okay, he's just talking, I think, on this natural growth pattern here, and maybe that's the scar. Yeah, that's very common, Nick. Very common growth pattern. I am going to throw an advice to you. He said, any and all advice. All right. So you've got great density and coverage at the base of your beard. I don't know if you're touching your neckline or not, but there is some transparency with the length of your beard. This is what I'm going to propose to you in the meantime, as you're learning your beard, as you're learning products and routines and processes. I want you to go shorter with your beard, and I want you to use a heated brush to wrap it towards your face. So you're at a point right here, and I'm going to show you on the mirror in a second. You're at a point right here where your beard hairs are pointing down. They are not curving to your neck, to your face. I want you to go in with a guard, one that is probably about halfway here. I would say that's probably a traditional 5 guard, I would say. Maybe a 6 if you want to be safe. Let's go 6, and then you can always go lower. And go in with a guard, go lower, and as you see on the mare here, his right now, on his face, he's starting to get these guys going down, but if the mare were to be a little bit shorter, he would be wrapping that beard to his face. And then mare's neckline is different as well. When we take a look at yours, and we're looking from the side here, there's no hair right underneath that neck. So you don't have to worry about like, then I got to line up the neckline and stuff. I would say go shorter, get a heated brush, and then start wrapping it to your face. Now that's a big move. Trust me, I don't say that lightly, but I think it's gonna look really good on you as you're learning your beard. As you learn those routines, as you learn the products, it's gonna be just better and better and better. And switch to the neck. Okay, yeah, so here's all I'm making. I've been brushing out like that, could just switch to the neck. So it's a little bit long to switch to the neck. So if you are now gonna start brushing it in, you're gonna get all of these guys just hanging out underneath. To brush it to the neck, my strong recommendation is you gotta go a little bit shorter. And what's gonna happen here too is the sides are a little bit poofy, right? Your face is here, then your beard is going out. I love going out when you have a proportionately larger beard below. But I would think going in with a guard is gonna wrap this tighter to your face all the way around, and it's gonna look real sharp, like real sharp. But it's a little bit too long to kind of wrap it underneath the jawline, if that makes sense for you. So yeah, I really do think that can make a lot of a difference there. Yep.
Final advice for me is just to try to appreciate the experience of learning about your beard.
Big time.
Enjoy the ride and look at it like a ride, not like there's gonna be good parts and bad, and but enjoy that process. It really, you can find a lot.
Yes.
In that.
Yep. And great piggyback from Leo here. 100% when I'm saying with a guard, that is for your beard. The mustache, I firmly believe, should be trimmed with scissors. I don't like trimmed mustaches with guards. I think it can be done, but it's not easy. Normally it looks like it gets kind of like butchered when you go in. I can almost always tell when somebody uses a guard to trim their mustache. So yeah, thank you for clarifying there, Leo. Absolutely.
Roger with an update. My last send was at December 8th, so this is about 2.5 months later.
Cool.
On my last send, you advised I went to the high-low, high look. You got advice that I went with that. This is on the first day with that style. My mustache has recovered nicely, but I still have more to grow. I'm going to keep growing the beard with some transparency trims along the way. At this point, my request for advice is on the mustache. I tend to grow one side different than the other. I'd like to go for that dapper mustache where it loops on both ends. One side naturally grows that way and the other just grows straight. On the straight side, I have trouble keeping it looking like the other. Wax works okay, but mid-dam back to half and half look. Is this going to get better as it grows, or should I just go for a more natural blended look? Thanks for all your help as always.
All right, so we're almost primarily focusing on the mustache, right?
Yeah.
Seems like it. All right, let's take a look, Roger. But what the look at this stud. Dude, looking like a model. Goodness. He was like, I got a fresh haircut. I need to send in. I look good. Roger, my man. Okay. So Roger, you talked about using mustache wax, and then by midday, the mustache is kind of going back loopy again. And what you're referring to there, that dapper look, it's going to be some version of a handlebar, whether it's like a light handlebar, soft handlebar. It is all about what kind of wax you're using and how much of it you're using. If you use the right amount of mustache wax with the right mustache wax, it is not going back during the day whatsoever. There are some really firm mustache waxes. Our buddy Jake Rancourt, who's an owner of Mr. Moose Grooming, he will keep in for sometimes his mustache wax, a handlebar, multiple days. He'll wake up in the morning and it is still styled because that mustache wax is so thick, so nice. I saw Johnny Ray's in here earlier. I saw Copper John's in here earlier. They both have very firm, like literally world champion level mustache wax, and that will get the job done. I promise you, it will not fall out of place if you get the right one and you're using enough. Yep, it is. There's a lot to it, and yeah, your own worst critic there. The mustache looks good. If you were asking me, Dan, my man, what should I do with my mustache? Lazy walrus blended into the beard. I am not personally a fan of handlebar mustaches with big beards. I believe that that goes for a shorter beard. I believe it goes with a bow tie type look, really dapper, really well put together. That is the most literal version of preference, though. I am not right. I'm not wrong. That's just what I prefer. What about you, Mary? Handlebar? Somewhere in between? Lazy walrus? What do you think for his mustache?
Lazy walrus somewhere, or the handlebar could. I feel like it fits.
The great haircut gives him the ability to rock a handlebar.
Yeah, it does. It's a styled haircut that you pull back. Handlebar to me is a touch of like definition in your style.
Yeah,
you're saying I'm a man. I got this beard, but I'm also detailed.
Yeah,
something like that. So it just depends on what you're trying to communicate.
100%. It does say a lot about you, and that's not me, right? I've talked about my style before. I wear plain shirts. I wear plain pants. I put a little bit of pop with the hat and with the shoes. A handlebar, you better put a little bit of pop everywhere. You better be, at least for me, you better be looking dapper. Yep. And that's another thing too. Juice is so right. There is a reason I call it the lazy walrus. Why? It's very simple to style, you guys. Very simple. Here's another reason. You can't tell if it's messed up. You can't tell if it's uneven. It's lazy. It's doing its job. That's a great thing. You do need to do that pretty much every day, unless you want to go between the two, right? If you're like, hey, I'm going to go lazy this day, I'm going to go handlebar. But I will say too, if you go lazy with it a bunch and then you pop out one day with a handlebar, you're going to get a lot of comments. And you got to have some like strong security of yourself to be able to handle those, right? Imagine going in to work, you have your normal mustache, and then one day you go in with a handlebar. You're gonna get comments.
That's part of the dance of a beard, though, is learning to armor yourself against other people's comments.
Yep.
And to do you.
Yep.
And to let it hit you and be like, bop. You know, good or bad, like that's the thing, is this is what I'm doing today. So I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the flexibility to change it up.
Yep. I absolutely love the haircut. I love the blend here. We have all comments all over. This is what's called a bald fade on the side here. Looks really, really nice, especially with that hair. Dude, how about that little salt and pepper in the hair and in the beard? Dude, you're a stud, Roger, man. You are an absolute stud. Would a ponytail fit? It could, for sure. Easily could fit into that one. Yep. Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, I can't go anywhere without comments. Yeah, me either, but I love them. Keep them coming. Especially, do you get comments at the gas station from the ladies all the time? Yeah,
women don't talk. They don't make comments. You notice it in other ways.
Oh yeah. No, they always comment on every.
Okay, so it's a different thing.
Yeah, at the gas station every time. I don't know what it is about gas stations. At gas stations, I get comments every time. Yeah, every time. So, yep. No,
I don't. So no, I don't get comments.
Okay, all right.
But I feel like they notice me.
Oh,
sometimes.
No doubt. All right, man. He said going for the man bun. Yeah, not. As that was exactly what I was saying. Could that fit with yours? Yes, for sure. Marcus said, I get comments at the gas station too. Yeah, maybe it's part of their training. You know, like at restaurants, waitresses are trained to tell women, "Oh, I love your purse," or stuff like that. Maybe there's something to that, but yeah,
they're testing you to see what kind of beer guy are you.
Yeah,
genuinely, they're saying it's a feeler.
You
look like you're really nice, and there's like this. People sometimes say a beer guy's mean. But you're not giving me that vibe, so I like your beard.
Here's a key thing, you guys. I invite beard comments by wearing beard gear. You will almost always see me with a Dancy hat when I leave. If you see a beard branded hat, not this one, but like my logo, and then you see a big beard that looks purposeful, that looks like he takes care of it, I'm inviting that comment. So just something to consider. If you want to get those comments, wear some beard swag. I promise you more people will feel like, okay, He's letting me know that he can do that, right? So that's definitely a big one. Does your mustache need to be a certain length to do a lazy walrus? For sure. You got to have enough to be able to curl it up and around.
The walrus will find you.
Oh, lazy. Sorry.
Oh,
I read that was my fault. I read that as a handlebar. No. The only requirements of a lazy walrus is that it needs to connect to the beard. That's it. I can cut it off here and I'm good. My mustache is really long. Like where these guys connect, my mustache, I measured it at one point. It was over a foot long. Like I'm still pulling from the mustache, guys. So yeah, no requirement there. Misread that first part. You lit liquor. Oh man, I love commercials.
This is Joe. I'd been using the same barber for 2 years. Recently, I went to the shop and he was no longer there. The barber I'd been using cut my beard and did the hair very well, did an awesome job, bending my sideburns, cheek lined up really good. I had a different barber do my hair and beard, and I wasn't too happy with how he did the sideburns and the cheek line. He did a great job with shaping the mustache, just felt like he made my cheek line a bit lower than I wanted it to be. I want to get another trim coming up this weekend. I was hoping you guys would be able to help explain better how I'd like my sideburns. I'm trying to grow my beard as long and large as possible without keeping it looking purposeful, manicured yet wild. I have 4 pictures attached. My beard is natural and styled with heat. I have purchased an Arborlight Pro. My last submission to the show, in the gray shirt, my beard is natty. Green shirt, my beard is heat treated. Any advice in style or shade critiques is greatly appreciated. I
just got a TikTok idea. So there's a super popular TikTok bodybuilder guy who goes to goes to weightlifting competitions and asks them, "Are you natty or not?" And so like most of them tell the truth. They're like, "Yeah, I'm on TRT. I'm on all this stuff." And then some people lie and they call him out.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Steroids.
Oh.
Are you on steroids or not? Or not necessarily steroids. Performance enhancing abilities. Testosterone. There's oxygen. There's all these different things. You could go around to different beards and say natty or not, and like interview them if they're using heat or stuff like that. So interesting. Okay, let's go and take a look at Joe P. Then we'll address his specific points here. Oh yeah, Heathen. Yep. We've had Heathen on here many times.
And he also has the red, kind of the same hair, like not to that, but just,
I think for sure. Yeah, different color. You see it big time with this lighting. Yeah,
I love it, man.
All right, so the gray is the old one, right?
Yeah, and he was talking about his cheek line and it's low. And what I heard right off the bat is that you were going in for another trim. And the thing that, again, I've learned with beards is that, for the cheek line, it's a slow recovery. And I think that applies to this too. Like you're not going to, if you want to trim a different part or, I don't really see much.
So I do see a significant difference. Now, if you were to just have sent me the picture on the right, the cheek line would have never, ever, ever stood out to me at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. But if you give these to me side by side, which one do I prefer? I do like the left one. I do like the higher cheek line, the more full cheek line. See this like big kind of V right here? It doesn't exist on this one.
I've been there.
So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, just let that grow. You're gonna be totally fine. But he said he wants our advice on how. What did he say here? Hope you guys can help me be able to explain better how I'd like my sideburns. Okay, blend my sideburns, but keeping my cheek line natural. Okay, so he's saying, hey, I want my sideburns like this. Blend it into my head hair, into the beard, but don't take the cheek line down. Joe, I don't see any issue with this picture whatsoever. You're saying I don't exactly love this one? Take this picture. Next time you go in, take this picture in and say, I want it to look like this, and let them go to work. They both look awesome. You should not feel bad about your beard whatsoever, but I think this picture is worth more than 1,000 words.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it now, side to side. Yep.
I think that's it, man. Just take that picture and
we've all had, like I said earlier on the show, the cheek line got trimmed a little lower than you're comfortable with. Beards teach you patience, as sometimes the slow things, fixing things in a slow way as it grows back, you're less likely to do it the next time. Apply that to life too.
For sure. Last one, guys.
Told you on the show that I'd send in some follow-up pics after the trim. Hopefully we are somewhere close, followed by the best advice I could. Thanks again.
All right.
This is advice best I could.
This is Pat R, you guys. So thank you, Pat, for sending in. He was on the show last week or the week before, and was going to send in the update. So let's go ahead and see here. Awesome, man. So if you guys remember, Pat had a shirt that had some like transparency. He had a shirt that was showing a lot of the transparency. And we said, hey, let's clean it up along the sides. Let's clean it up along the bottom. Dude, immaculate. Look at that profile. Look at that front. Look at the color. Let's go. What's up, Morgan? That is picture perfect. Thoughts, man?
I see a happy, fantastic, well-balanced man and beard.
Oh, yeah. It looks really, really, really nice there, man. Like, genuinely fantastic. I'm trying to see if I can pull a picture real. He didn't send in the picture from last week, but I think we might be able to find where he's at because it looks really, really nice on this one. So, Patrick, man, thank you for sending in, guys. We love updates. Absolutely love updates. So, keep those ones coming. And, yeah, here we go. Here's the picture from last week. You see all that transparency at the bottom. You see the transparency even on the sides, especially when you look at this one. Look at the transparency going back towards like the sides. We kind of made it real clear where it was going to be. And then when you go to this one here, boom. Look at that. Absolutely crushed it. Crushed it, Pat. Great job, man. There's not a thing in the world I would say to change about that beard right now. That looks awesome. You have very similar genes to Jay, the bearded Wolverine. You guys' beard grows the same, similar texture, similar colors. That's really cool. Really, really cool. Awesome, Pat. That was easy. Easy peasy. Hey, Mayor, we had, I believe, 12 different beards on today. We need beards next week. We love them. We want them. They should probably know, though, the process to get involved. First off, how much? We had 12 people. How much did we make tonight?
$0.
We don't charge for this, guys.
And that price will continue into to next week.
Yes.
So send in your questions, comments, concerns, goals for your beard to beardadvicelive@gmail.com. Let us know what's going on. What are your questions? Send a front-facing photo and a side photo, and we'll get it on the show.
Yeah, guys, we take pride in doing this for free. We take pride in helping people. That goes way beyond just the people that send into this show. We love it. It also feeds video ideas. There's so much to this. So thank you guys for sending in. Please keep it coming. Do we have a discount code to send in?
For Beard Advice Live?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, make sure you use discount code FREE for your free advice.
Yep, absolutely. Same great price, different week. Adam, today was literally the first day I was able to use it, but it's a Babyliss, I don't know, cold brush, I guess is what you call it, or cool brush. So far, so good. Brian, great question, man. Are we on Instagram?
Yep, at Mayor's Beard Journey and...
Oh, Dan C. Bearded. Thank you. It's easy to find us on here. And both of those are linked in the description of this video. An easy click. We respond to the messages. We post stuff about our life. We post pictures and it's so many different things, you guys. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And if you could read this from Donnie, I think that's a great comment.
If anyone watching is unsure about submitting, let me tell you, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Dan the Mayor are the real deal.
Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
So true, man. What a great show. We knew it going in. We had a diverse show and a lot of different beard types and advices. We always know you guys are going to come clutch with the questions, and that didn't fail one bit. Later show, but snow day. And we hope that you guys enjoyed it and were able to hang out. Really, really fun. Hey, Mayor, what's going on Sunday this week?
Sunday on Beyond Bearded, we're gonna have Lieutenant John Swartz from the police department come in, and I'm gonna ask him some questions. He's trained. One of the things he does is he has a company that works on securing and protecting our kids during like a active shooter kind of situation.
Yeah.
And he has a business of that, so we're gonna talk about that and so much more. 8 o'clock right here on this channel, Beyond Bearded. I hope you will check it out.
And beyond that, he is literally one of the greatest humans I've ever personally known. And I've known him for over 10 years now. The Mayor has as well. And unbelievably amazing human. Like, if you're starting a draft of people you want on your team, he needs to be in that first round. And shout out to James here. James had a cool video today. All of you guys probably know Gary Vee, the motivational speaker and entrepreneur. He posted a TikTok or an Instagram reel of him playing basketball. He's really competitive. He wants to own the New York Jets one day. And he was playing basketball. I saw a familiar face in that basketball game. My good friend and former student James was playing against Gary Vee, which was really cool. So I had to post it and give a little shout out to James there. A little bit jealous. I can ball a little bit, and I would love to play Gary Vee one day. So that was pretty dang cool. All right, Mayor. Anything else for the people?
Have a great rest of the week. We will see you around.
Yeah, if you guys are in this sleet, ice, snowstorm, stay safe, drive carefully. Don't go too slow, but drive carefully out there. All right, guys. One day, hey, James said it. One day, I'm holding you to that, man.
so.
Yep, I will get 12 assists in that game, James. I don't even need to shoot. I'm gonna feed Gary the rock. All right, guys. Please reach out if you need anything. Have a great night and the rest of your week.